Hi folks, it's me. I'm in Washington, D.C. here at my hotel, just checking out and heading out to the Newseum. So I'm giving you a little talk today all day. So I figured I'll tag you guys along to this presentation and have you guys check out this museum. It's going to be cool. Come on along. Okay folks, the presentation's over. It was a very nice group of people and we spent the whole day together here at the museum. And now the presentation is done and everyone's left. Beautiful background in this nice room of the US Capitol. And I figured what I'm going to do here for you at the very end is to share with you a little segment of this presentation. Hopefully it might be of some use to you as well. I wanted to share with you a little excerpt of a part of the presentation that I used, which is a little bit of a clinical video of a case that I did where I used the SSC or single stroke and clean concepts to show you how you can use less files by using SSC, which is really the basis of the ESX system. So if you look at this tooth here that I'm going to show you, this is a maxillary canine, maxillary right canine, and I think we can all agree this is a fairly calcified tooth. There is, however, a lesion, which means that there is a canal in there. So following access preparation using the microscope and getting down there, around the CEJ area or a little bit past, finally we find the little opening of the canal, which you can see here in high magnification. So as usual, we use these Brasseler stiff files that are very good, and the point is that they have a little bit of stiffness to them. The goal here is not to try right off the bat to get all the way down to the end of the root, but rather go in there and take in a little watch winding and almost like a balanced force technique. Go in there, engage the dentin, and pull it out. This is using the SSC motion with your hand files, the same way you use them with your rotary files, and specifically the ESX. And you can see that every time that I'm taking a little pinch of dentin out of the tooth, I'm taking the file out and I'm wiping it clean with an alcohol gauze. This way I'm releasing the chip space of the file, which allows the file to go a little bit deeper. Instead of being overzealous and try to force the file down right from the first go, but keep going up and down and forcing the file down, I'm taking one little bite at a time, and this way walking the file down here towards the apex. And as you saw, the number 6 worked its way down using this SSC motion with a hand file towards the apex. Now I repeat that same process with a size 8 to get that down, and here you can see that we have the number 10 working in the same exact fashion to get it down towards the apex. But now what I'm doing is I'm trying to do the same thing. This is the Expeditor, which is a 1505 file, and I'm taking one little bite and removing it. And this shows that the chip space of the file now is full with a tiny little bite. This is really about a little bit of engagement time. And you can see that every time the Expeditor is moving down a little bit more towards the apex through this process of going in there, taking the file to the engagement. As you can see, the chip space gets full very quickly because these files are rotated at either 300, 500, or 600 RPM, and it's a fairly quick process to get some engagement. Here at this point, I was trying to demonstrate this dry to show the power of the SSC, but at this point my assistant adds a little bit of irrigant to the side, and you can see that reduces the torque dramatically very quickly, and now this SSC process is moving on. So the goal here is to do about 3 or 4 SSC and stop and irrigate and maybe even recapitulate with your original file. In this case it was a size 8 or 10, but the goal here is to just show you the power of SSC in terms of moving a file down as long as you have a path. So now at this point we're using the apex locator using a 10 file to measure the working length. It turned out to be about 25 millimeters, which is why I've removed the stopper from the Expeditor file. And now using it down with the same SSC motion to the full length. Now I'm putting my finger on the handpiece, not because I'm pushing it, but because I'm actually using my finger to give it a little bit more control over the head of the handpiece. That's a really important thing to do, to have control over the head of the handpiece, which is why using SSC, or in fact any other motion, you always need to have a very good fulcrum. Hold the handpiece in a way where you have control over the head. Have a good fulcrum with your ring finger on the adjacent tooth so that you can control the head of the handpiece. As you get very close to the apex where you need to have even more control, not let the head to get sucked in or the file to get sucked in, you can put your finger gently on the side of the head of the handpiece so it can give you a two-handed control over the head of the handpiece. But so after getting the Expeditor down to the full working length, at this point it's time to choose the master apical file. And normally in a tooth that's this calcified, where the Expeditor had a tough time reaching the apex, we would normally be using a size 30 or maybe a 35 as our master file. But again, here I'm trying to demonstrate to you the power of single stroke and cleaner SSC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to show you in this calcified tooth that you saw from the beginning, I'm going to try to get a size 45 ESX or EndoSequence down to the apex. So here we add the irrigant and we begin taking our size 45 file. It shows that we are 6 or 7 millimeters short of the full working length. So that's a long distance to go. But then using this SSC motion, you can see how quickly, by doing a single stroke, the chip space gets very full quickly. You remove the file, you use an alcohol wipe to clean it. You can use the EndoSwipe, which you have seen in my previous videos, which I've developed to wipe this debris off very efficiently. But this is the process. You do about 3 strokes or so, then you follow through with irrigation. You can also recapitulate, and you can recapitulate it with your hand file or with the Expeditor because it already reached the apex. Then again, 3 strokes again, and then follow that up with irrigation. And you can see the debris is removed with your file in the chip space, but if there's any remaining debris, that's the purpose of the irrigation. Once again, I'm using my finger to control the head of the handpiece. I'm not pushing it in, but rather controlling the head. And it's a little bit now fast forward to show with a number of stroke, we went all the way from a size 15 Expeditor, and originally a size 6 hand file, to a 4504 using 2 files, 2 rotary files here with this ESX system with the use of the single stroke and clean motion. So I'm following the irrigation protocol. At this point everything is done. I did negative pressure, ran a large volume of full strength bleach to the apex, and here it is now, the final fill, showing a perfect shape of a size 4504 matched bioceramic cone with bioceramic sealer using hydraulic condensation to fill this tooth all the way to the apex using 2 rotary files. Well, I hope this little segment was helpful to you. Don't forget to share the video, and also put down any notes or questions or comments at the bottom of the video in the comment section on our website. And until then, let's save some teeth, and I'll see you in the next video.